Welcome to another edition of the Dementia Care Partner Talk Show. Now, here's dementia care expert Teepa Snow and your host, Greg Phelps.
Hello and welcome to the Dementia Care Partners podcast. I'm your host, Greg Phelps, and joining me as usual is Teepa Snow, and we're just going to have two words for our topic today, Teepa. Dementia friendly. I read Pax Teffy Landman's little story on dementia friendly. And I remember a community on Vancouver Island was going to try and bill itself as dementia friendly, but I think it fell apart because they really didn't know what that was or how you became friendly. Does that term get misused, misappropriated? What is
Yeah.
dementia friendly?
Well, that's a really good question. I mean, it's somebody who started it thinking, oh, it's so easy. It's so simple if you're just friendly. And it's like, well, you do know there's 129 different, or at least, forms, causes, and types of dementia. And you know there's progression through a dementia. And you know that each individual was unique before they ever started developing dementia. And you know that there are many languages spoken and many cultural determinations that make you friendly or not friendly. Did you know that in some cultures, nodding your head up and down is actually not a yes, it's a no? Did you know that smiling is a sign that you're aggressive, not being friendly? Did you know? I mean, so if you're going to tell me to be friendly with somebody, I hope I know the other person well enough to look friendly. I mean, there's a difference between coming alongside someone and helping to figure something out in a friendly manner and then saying, oh, hi, I'm Teepa and I'm here to be friendly. Yes. Can I get you something to drink? What would you like to drink? I'll get you whatever you'd like. Now, no, you can't have alcohol. Wait a minute. No, that wasn't what I said. But, we've all had the friendly, what person in a store or person in a restaurant who was like, I just want out. Can I get out? I don't want to sit at her table. It's too much. Ugh, ugh. And sometimes, Greg, oh, is that you? I'm here to help. Oh, look at you. You look so good.
Now, my hearing is affected as I age, either perhaps for dementia or just natural aging. Wouldn't that sound like squirrels in a cage or something, or
Yeah,
chipmunks or
I think it's an irritant, and I'm pretty sure friendly is not the first word that came to your mind. So, very simple things do make a difference. But unfortunately, some of the original programming, I think there's not a lot of meat on the bone, as we say, as far as technique and strategy and basics. I mean, they just talk about being friendly without, like, don't ask a lot of yes, no questions. Or actually, one of the things actually says, ask yes, no questions, because it's easier for people to answer. And my thought is, well, I hope they know which one they're answering. And I hope you get getting a lot of no's. So like, could I get anything for you, Greg?
anything? Yes, a
I know,
Porsche,
or not.
a new camera.
Well, not a Porsche. No, Greg. No. I meant to drink. Do you want anything to drink?
Well, Teepa, it's funny that you bring that up because it just crossed my mind reading a menu, and the
Mm.
seniors menu was actually, I think, about 20 items long, and I couldn't pick out of it. Well, okay, I'm a senior.
So if you want to make it friendly, then take pictures of different meals and say, would you like something hot or cold? Here's a couple of options. Which one would you prefer? And hold them off to the side a bit so that the person can get a chance to look at them and give them before you say anything else. And then see what they say. It's like, what do you think? Well, I don't know. Ah, would you like me to recommend something? Maybe?
Something as simple as choosing pies, Teepa, because if you have a whole bunch of different pies, my brain is going to process each one. I'm raisin. No, I don't like that. That gets in my teeth. Lime. No, I ate that once and it didn't go down. I'm going to process them all.
Yeah, and instead I'm gonna hold up two different pieces. I've already leaned over to Charlene and say, "What's his favorite?" And she'll go this, and I'll say, okay, I'm going to include that, and then I'm going to make another one. I'm going to say this, Greg, or this. Now, I've heard tell you like this one a lot, but here's a variation.
So
And
you've
guess
got,
what? The
well,
cool part is you got to choose,
I got to
and
choose.
that
Yeah,
you
me.
got to choose and use your brain to make that choice. And you'd used visual data and auditory data. And then when you made that choice, you felt empowered to make that choice. And all I did was make sure I was friendly enough to make that offer to you rather than a yes, no that maybe you didn't really get what I was saying in the first place. So yeah, being friendly, dementia friendly. It's more than a purple tablecloth, and it's certainly more than just putting it as a label. I think unless there's skill, people shouldn't be throwing it about because I don't think you are friendly when you don't know what you're doing, even though you want to.
So you have pictures behind you and on files on the computers everywhere. You've got charts and graphs. You've got all sorts of wonderful stuff. Do you have one somewhere that's a list that's developing of dementia friendly suggestions?
Yeah, it's our dementia cue card because the first thing to do is to start to notice, ooh, I think I have someone I need to specialize my behavior a little bit with. And then here are some suggestions on what to do and what to avoid doing to try to reduce the risk that you do something that's not friendly and actually causes harm. Because the goal with being friendly is to create a relationship of support for both of us without being onerous. I mean, we really don't want to cause a challenge, but we do want to recognize, ooh, this is above my skill set. And notice if it's above your skill set, ooh, I need some help. And where do you go for that? And if you want to be a good friend, know what your resources are and know where to go when it doesn't actually, I don't know what to do now. And it's not always call the police. That's I think I'll call the police because I don't know what to do with him. I mean, I'm not sure that's particularly friendly. Or leave you on the bus because I didn't know what to do with you.
Interesting. I read another article on the differences between men and women. Okay, that could be a whole series, not just
A
a.
whole different series on that one. Yeah.
But the suggestion was that when I'm approaching a woman, two women will stand in front of each other and be perfectly comfortable. Whereas if a man approaches, you should get off to the side. And that had never really occurred to me. And the same with men. Men generally, if we're approaching each other, we're either going to confide something or it's going to be confrontational.
Yeah.
There's
It's an
differences.
interesting, yeah, there are differences. And with women, we tend to think, oh, well, it'll be fine if I stand in front of her. But the challenge is when her visual field might be collapsed, she might see it as us blocking her way or not. And when language is more of a challenge. So by being a little to the side, I might be able to notice a little more of what she's noticing. And it gives me more data as a supporter and a helper and a friend because I'm seeing the world more from her perspective than from mine. And then I can point things out by using my hand and gesturing. Oh, hey, Melanie. Wow, look at that. That's beautiful. What do you think? Not for you? Okay. Well, tell you what, let's go over this way. I can do a gesture and I can get guidance and I can keep someone safe until I get more help in place. Or I notice what's going on and I find their husband down 2 aisles over in the grocery store because he was busy looking and she took off, but she didn't know she was wandering off. She was just going through the grocery store like she did before until she realized she didn't know where she was exactly and how she'd gotten there. And I just deliver people back to where they came from by going ahead and walking around a little bit with them and looking for stuff. And sure enough, we found the thing she was needing, which wasn't a grocery item, turns out.
So if a business or a care facility or a government agency or anybody wants to sort of try and build themselves as dementia friendly, they're going to have to spend some time at this because there's no one answer for any situation.
And any group that says, oh, yeah, we got it. Yeah, like we watched a video and we've got it. It's like, well, that's a watching a video.
That's a
So
great first step.
that's a great first step, but unless you then ask questions, get curious, and then develop some skill sets, I'd say, that's not really friendly. That's token. That's tokenism. And we're not big fans of tokenism. We really think if you're going to say you are, you should be.
Teepa, if somebody wants to do a little chit chat one-on-one, have you got somebody in particular, or is there a group that discusses this, or is this a Teepa only type of topic? Or
Nah, it's never a TIPA only topic. We have folks now. It depends. If you have an organization that's interested in doing something, we'd suggest getting up with some of our organization folks because we actually have folks that have specialized in working with organizations. They might be community groups, they might be provider agencies. If you're interested in doing more on research or with research, we'd recommend another sort of branch of our group. And if you're looking at an individual, hey, get up with our consultants, our info@tpasnow.com, because all of us are able to start the conversation and then figure out where you are exactly and how you might want to end up in a situation that meets your needs.
Teepa, thank you very much.
Thank you, Greg.
You've been listening to the Dementia Care Partners podcast, brought to you by Positive Approach to Care. For more information, go to teepasnow.com.